know. You never know. All right, Dave Olney here. You Never Know is the name of the show. And here we go. Coming up is something in my throat. Next week is Palm Sunday. And then Monday I go up to Chicago and get on a train. And Dave Alvin and John Langford and I ride the train west. While riding on a train going west. And train tour through Glacier Park to Portland or White Eagle, Friday, 4/18. Does that make any sense? I hope so. 4/18 is technical for April 18th. Okay, so there you go. The train tour with Dave Allen. That would be great. And John Langford. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. What the hell are you doing? Get on the train. Okay, so whenever it was 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends, a week and a half ago, I played down in Alabama, and one of the gigs was a house concert in Coleman with Ronnie Knight, and he was talking about, he'd heard this song that I'm going to do, and that it affected him. This is the first time he'd heard me play over at Springwater. Springwater was and is this classic dive near Centennial Park here in Nashville. And I had a band called the X-Rays, and we played there, and it was a scene. It was really very much fun. And Ronnie heard the X-Rays do this song called 30 Coins of Gold, and which, well, it's just odd that you would play a song like this in a place like Springwater, but then the times were strange in themselves. Okay, I'll just play it, and then, but anyway, do this for Ronnie, and with thanks for a really nice time we had down at his place in Coleman. Go. Many years ago, a man called Leonardo set out to paint our Lord at his Last Supper. So he sent his servants forth among the poor to find the models for our Lord and his disciples. After many weeks of search, all were found save one, for no amount of gold could hire a Judas. For the poor have their beliefs, and they will not tempt their God, and not a one dared play the base betrayer. And then one day a beggar with a haunted kind of face accosted Leonardo on the street. Have mercy, noble sir, and give what you can spare, and anything I do to win your favor. Leonardo gave a coin, the highest in the realm, and said 30 more to him who'll act as Judas. Now the beggar's eyes were blinded as the sun's light hit the coin, and he trembled as he fearfully accepted. For months the beggar sat, until late into the night, as Leonardo worked his master's touch. Ah, but this, of all the faces, was most difficult to catch, for the features of this man were ever changing. A face that once was haunted was now like one possessed, and eyes that once were frightened now were tortured. But at last the task was done, and the beggar got his gold, and he left that night and was never seen again. People talk about a man who goes from town to town, and he never stays in one place very long. And while no one knows his name, a few have seen his face in a picture that was painted long ago. And there is a story told of 30 coins of gold, and a man who cannot rest until he spends them. But he might throw them in the sea in the darkest hour of night. In the morning he will find they are still with him. In the morning he will find they are still with him. All right, 30 coins of gold. And I wrote that a long time ago. And I was living in an apartment. Excuse me, I got a runny nose. And the back of it was at the back of this apartment building, and it was down in the basement. It was a nasty little place. But I loved it. You had to climb over a dirt pile to get to it, so the inside was always covered with mud. And anyway, I had heard about in Germany and Oberammergau, in the Easter season, they do a play reenacting the crucifixion of Jesus and the resurrection and all that stuff, and they rehearse all year long. So I was thinking about, the guy who gets to play Jesus, that's pretty good. You get to play God, and every day you rehearse, and that's nice. But the guy who plays Judas, that's not so nice, and you got to do it every day, and that it could probably mess with your mind a little bit. So originally I wanted to write about that, but then that got too hard. So then I thought about Leonardo da Vinci painting the Last Supper and finding models for all the disciples, including Judas. I thought, okay, that'll do it. But then when I first wrote it, I had Leonardo painting this on canvas, and the Last Supper is painted on a wall, so I had to change that around. And what kind of struck me, the experience of writing this, is when I finished it, and I thought, well, that's a strange story, but that's kind of cool. But there's no moral to it, What can you say? The guy was just a model. There's no reason why he should receive eternal damnation or anything like that just for posing as somebody. It kind of doesn't come out as a morality tale, I would say. And then I thought, well, that's good. I don't want to be a moral, person who gives moral advice. So anyway, it was kind of the first song of that kind that I had written, and I was kind of amazed at it. And it was really nice to hear somebody, Ronnie Knight, saying that he really enjoyed the song. And okay, I think that's it. That's all I've got this week. Hope you're doing good, and I'll see you on next week. I got one more show before I hit the rails, and yeah. So happy Easter. Oh, no, next week is Palm Sunday. Week after that is Easter. Well, happy Palm Sunday. Okay, see you. You never know
never know